How did I start this? One day I heard myself talking and I was just like, bro, get this man a microphone. But I feel like I'm not sure when I got the microphone. I'm not sure if I got it before or after, but it was definitely, I think it was after because when I was recording myself, I would use my laptop and I would just use the microphone on the laptop. Now that was the Motil, and the Motil was a like I don't know, a $500 laptop. They advertised it at $1,000. It was on sale for $500 on Walmart, which I don't believe was true. They described it as a performance laptop. So I bought it and that's what I was using. And then the first time I started hearing myself talking was when I basically ran away from home. It like I said, it's like everything has been planned. Like, although it didn't go the way that I hoped that it would have gone, because I ran away from home and then, like, 6 months later, the police knocked down the door and came and took me to the hospital. Luckily, I didn't get arrested, but I did get handcuffed. It was a wellness check, and the officer that once they pinned me down and they got me in handcuffs, they were like, the one officer was like, "You should have gone to county for that." And so I was so close to going to jail, so close because I don't know, I started smoking weed and that's when it all started to tumble. Like at first I was taking edibles. And while I was taking edibles, everything was fine. And then I started smoking weed, like the flower, and then that's when everything started going, bottoms up. Like not good. We need to figure out what needs to be done to fix this problem because now I have a problem. Like I had like no control over myself. Like I was eating the edibles and then I started smoking the flower and the flower started messing me up real bad. So I couldn't work and I started stealing from work and it was just a whole bunch of things that started to happen. So for me to get to this point, it was a long, long journey. Like if I look back at it and I'm like, how could it have been better? There's so many things I can say, but honestly, like I don't even think so because it was such a shit show. Like yes, it could have been better. Like the police could have conducted themselves better. I could have conducted myself better, but I had like literally no choice because I was just in such a state where I was in psychosis basically, and I was trying to figure everything out by myself, and the answer was right in front of me. All I had to do was take my medication and I would have been fine. But I was so against the medication because it made me feel like crap. Like I wasn't creative anymore. I was sitting at home going to work 2 times a week while going to college. And honestly, it was very depressing. Like, even though I got my college degree from doing that, I was not happy whatsoever from the day to day things. Like, I would be like, this isn't it. Like, I can't even write. And writing was something that I enjoyed. So I started talking to myself when I went to New Brunswick for the second time. And honestly, I didn't need to start talking to myself. I could have been recording myself and the things that I was doing because that was phenomenal. Like the things that I was doing was so cool, but I guess I needed something else under my belt. You know how Batman has a utility belt and he has all these different weapons? Well, I needed something under my belt, and that was talking. It was something that I struggled with a lot. I still struggle with it to this day. I can't talk that well with people. Like, I can crack a lot of jokes with my family, and that's all cool and whatnot. But when it comes to like May and trying to talk to her, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Like, she brings up topics that I'm not ready for, and she asks me to for some input, and I'm just sitting there stuttering. I'm just like, I don't stutter, but I was just sitting there just like having a hard time coming up with a sentence, an answer, anything to give her something back, because I feel like she's giving so much to me in the conversation. Like, she's the one that's talking the whole time, and I'm the one that's quiet. So I started to notice that there was something that was weird going on. I can talk to myself, and I can go for, you know, right now I can go for like an hour. But when I'm talking with another person, that drastically changes. It's like I can't even talk. Like, I can only get about one or two sentences out. And then I figured out that it's something called aphasia, where you have trouble talking. So I was talking to my therapist, and I was just like, I forget a lot. Like, while I'm talking to someone, I forget about what I'm talking about. And it happens, and I can't do anything about it. And I started like researching. I was like, what is this called? What is this called? At first, I didn't get anything. Then the second time, I got something, and it was called aphasia. And aphasia typically means that you have trouble saying, talking, getting your sentences out, thinking about what you're going to say. It has nothing to do with intelligence. That's what it said. It's just like a talking disorder. So you can still be smart, but unfortunately, you don't sound smart. And you have all the dots connecting in life, but when it comes to talking, you have nothing there. Like, you have nothing to offer. So I was like, you know what? That definitely has something to do with relationships and whatnot. But I remember my past relationships, and the thing that I would do is that I wouldn't talk too much, but I would definitely text a lot. Like, we had so much information on Facebook. Me and Randy, we were texting back and forth, texting back and forth. And I was like, sometimes I was mean, because she was very mean as well, guys. Like, you gotta understand, like, it's not as simple as it seems. Like, she had so many problems, and I thought I had solutions, but I didn't really have solutions. And her problems were so deeply rooted that I couldn't do anything about it. And it started to show in the relationship. Um, yeah, like, incest is really bad, bro. Incest is, it can really jack you up. You know what I mean? Like, it jacks the person up, and that person goes ahead and starts jacking other people up. That's essentially what was happening. Like, she was classified as a school whore, and I didn't care. I was like, I like this girl. I'm gonna go out with her. And person after person was coming up to me saying like, oh, I she gave me a blowjob and I come in her mouth, and you should wear a condom with that girl. You don't know what she has. Like, when I say person after person, that I meant like two people. But definitely, you can the fact that everybody was talking about her, you know what I mean? The fact that everybody was talking about her was the resounding effort from the school and classmates that, like, I shouldn't be going out with her. Like, you shouldn't go out with a girl that's classified as a whore. It's like going out with a stripper. She's a stripper, dude. So beware. So I was like, whatever. I like her. We get along. She likes me, and not many girls like me. So I'm gonna take this for the long run, and I did. And she jacked me up, bro. Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. But we were. I wouldn't really talk to her. We started out by passing notes. She had a plethora of boys writing her notes, and she was writing them back. And then I started writing her notes, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Writing a girl notes, and she's actually answering. Like, granted, she's answering like five other guys at the same time, but she's answering me too. So I was like, "I want to make this official." None of the other boys were biting, and Akil, for example, I think May told me that Akil was never Randy's boyfriend. Like, they were just a thing. And that really caught me by surprise. I'm like, what do you mean that wasn't her boyfriend? Like, that had to have been her boyfriend. And she was like, no, it was just like a fling. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But I was the one that took that. Um, I saw her as everything. I was like, bro, I like this girl. She's really cool. And who cares about her past? And I think that that's a really cool thing. It taught me so much about myself. Like, I will go and get whatever I want, no matter what anybody says. And that started being like a resounding thing throughout my life where I would get the girl and then I would start dealing weed. I was a pot dealer. I should stop saying drug dealer. I should really start saying pot dealer. But I was a pot dealer. And like everybody just like didn't really say anything. Like my parents were pissed as hell. My dad was pissed. He was like, "You shouldn't be doing weed. You shouldn't be smoking it." And I was just buying quarter pounds and then pounds, and I was just like living my life. But everything that I've done has been like, I'm going to do this no matter what you say, and I'm going to get through it because I have to see my way out of it. And now that I'm seeing the light, because like I have schizophrenia, and schizophrenia doesn't seem like it's such a bad thing. Like it has it's probably something a little bit more than what we are explaining. Like, what is schizophrenia? What exactly is it? So this is what schizophrenia does to you. You can hear voices and you can hallucinate. So it's auditory and visual. So they don't tell you a lot of other things, and I'll probably explain this later on. But like I feel like this is better than doing research, because you go in, they research you, they ask you similar questions, then they make you go to therapy, and the whole time you're not really telling the truth. Like, there's rarely people that will go into these research facilities and tell the truth. So this is how I'd rather talk. I don't want to go to a therapist. I'd rather talk like this, like to the world, where they can hear me. Because when I talk to a therapist, everything is behind closed doors. And we don't know, I don't remember what I'm talking about in there unless I make like a video right afterwards. But I can't even do that because I don't drive. And I don't drive, that means I have to wait for a lift. I'm waiting for a lift. I get in the lift. I get home, which is like 10 minutes away. And then guess what? I forgot about everything that we talked about. And I can't record what we talk about. I can't do a lot of things with a therapist. I can't tell the truth. Because if I told the truth, she would be like, we're going to get you to the hospital right now. Like every single time something, even if it's small, pops up, it just pops up and I'm just like, here, this is what I'm feeling. But generally, I've been doing pretty good because nothing has been out of the ordinary for me. Um, so I talk to my therapist, but I leave a lot of things out. And I have a book that's out, and I have recordings that are out, and I have videos that are out that much better explain my thought process and how I think and how I feel and what's going on daily, and when I'm out and open and free. Like, that is how I'd rather be. I don't want to be cooped up in a cage talking to someone that doesn't really care. You know what I mean? They can only care so much, but they're just there to raise a red flag and be like, hey, I think this kid needs to go to the hospital. And I I guess it's helpful. You know what I mean? It's it's a real thing. Schizophrenia is a real thing. You do need to watch out for it. Sometimes I don't even notice like what's going on. Like every time I got taken away by the police was when everything has gone too far. Like I wasn't taking my medication. I wasn't taking it for months. And then it was like clockwork. Like every 6 months, they would call the police and they would haul me off to the hospital, and I would have to stay in the hospital. And I had weed in my system. So now there's no weed in the picture. I don't smoke. I don't do any type of drug or anything like that. And I feel much 100% much better. Um but now I feel more creative. I feel like I can record, and I have to remember that even if it's boring, it's worth recording. That kind of sounded like a rhyme, did it? Even if it's boring, it's worth recording. So I hope you guys keep that in mind. Remember to record and start putting your stuff up. There's Spotify creators. Spotify allows you to upload as much as you want, unlimited amount of uploads. So it's like a free cloud. So record yourself talking. Just talk about your day, talk about a problem, vent, do anything. Like, you don't need a therapist to do this. People believe that they need therapists to vent what they're saying, because I get that most of them are scared to do this because they're like, what if I say the wrong thing? Like, what if I talk about suicide and I'm talking about like how I'm suicidal, and what if they respond to it the wrong way? Well, if you find yourself thinking like that, you probably do need help, but everybody knows that you have to take the medication, and the medication makes you go through those things. You are going to think about suicide. You are going to not feel well. And that is going to happen, but you have to stick through it. That's the only way that you're going to get any better. You have to stick through it with the medication. You have to, have to, have to, have to. Like, hopefully this is like educational to someone that's listening. That's like, I'm schizophrenic. What do you go through as a schizophrenic person? You know? So like, hopefully you can get some information out of this. And I don't know if I want to, Spotify creators, I get no plays on it. I'm a little distraught. I know I just uploaded just yesterday. I'm getting no plays. This is going to be a long journey. It's going to be a long journey. But I'm ready for it, you know? Uh I'd I'd rather there be more uh feedback, but right now it's rough. I'm making rough recordings and stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to talk, but it's pretty hard. And just thinking about like what I'm talking about and what people might think, it makes me a little worried sometimes. But other than that, I feel positive. Like, I feel very good about this. All right, I'm going to log off for now. That was my recording. A 20-minute recording. Cool.